what does the delegation feel is a fair amount of money to chop off your budget? And if you spent $100,000 last year, and now you put in a budget for $150,000.
Sure.
If we don't have some line item exposure, how do you determine? Well, yeah, she's right. Maybe could she settle for $125,000? There's got to be somewhere in there a middle ground, because I don't, frankly, and if you sit here, you see how fast it goes through on the nursing home, because I think people realize they don't know anything about the business. I've been doing it for 14 years, and I still don't think I know much more about it than I did when I started. But ideally, yeah, it could be left up to you, but there still has to be some oversight as long as the law is the way it is.
I think I understand that, and I commend you for your participation, because I've been over the jail and I have seen you there, and this is not this year; it was in past years. And I've seen your dialogue with Will. So you, as a subcommittee member, understand what's happening. But I can speak very frankly with the subcommittee, my subcommittee, and the issue of, and everyone has been supportive of the nursing home, I do believe, for the most part. But I have the subcommittee chair that has been, but I don't believe that anyone else has actually seen the working of the nursing home. So I find it very interesting when questions are being asked. I would, none of that, a lot of that work was not done in the subcommittee, and I will say that in our past subcommittee meetings, that in preparation for this budget, Representative Algren asked some thought-provoking questions on the business line, and that was helpful in our budget. And Representative Fleck was involved, and I believe Representative Patton attended one meeting, and I think she's been more involved, and she may know the nursing home prior to my coming. But it was interesting to watch and to listen to some of the questions that were being asked, and not particularly this past session, but two weeks ago, when I think we all felt very demoralized when we left the meeting. And I think if the representatives were more involved, or at least were more involved in that subcommittee process, that we perhaps would be better off in what is being discussed. But I think we felt lambasted.
Well, I think as a subcommittee chairman, I felt the same way. We were involved, and yet we took the same amount of flack that you took, even though we spent a lot of time. And I think that the four of us on the jail subcommittee came out of that with a lot more knowledge about what goes on there than the other 10 that are here. But you still, they don't want to believe what you hear.
That's exactly, precisely what I was going to say. If we're going to have a subcommittee procedure, then if the other members of the delegation are not willing to participate in that subcommittee procedure, then they ought to at least accept what the people who have worked hard on it have said about it, and not, cut them off at the legs. And I find that, I don't know why you go through the process if it's not going to be accepted. It seems a waste of time, your efforts, Representative Fleck's efforts at his committee. It seems a total waste of time if you got to a delegation and they merely override everything you've done without any knowledge of why you've done it.
It's kind of how the committee process works on doing bills in Concord. When the committee makes the recommendation.
But in Concord, you tend to listen to what the committee's recommendation is, because they're the experts.
Right.
These people give you the subcommittee. You're not the expert, but you're the ones that know the most about it on the delegation.
Right. And
they don't give you that same.
That's what I'm saying. It just doesn't.
It's the opposite.
It doesn't translate down to the county level.
I must admit, and again, I'm a newcomer to the county process, but in the 2 years that I worked on the budget prior to this year, the committees had a much stronger structure. And when we went in front of the full delegation, yes, there were questions, but nothing like what transpired this past session.
And I think a lot of that has to do with we have new members on the delegation, and some of them don't understand county government at all. I wish that new members, as well as the full delegation, had more positive things to say and not be so negative. I think there's a philosophy there that they're here to cut the budget, and that's it. I'd like to see them say, you know, you're doing a great job, and continue to make it more efficiently run. But I don't hear that. All I hear is, we need to cut this, we need to cut that. Anyway, any further comments?
We also have, in fairness to the delegation, we also have different economic times.
That's true.
In the past, which add pressure. I mean, these people all ran on cut spending, cut taxes. And Representative McCarthy said it 24 times. I ran on it. I'm not going to cut, I'm not going to raise taxes, and I'm going to cut spending. And, you know, he feels like he's got to do that, and that's added pressure to what everything you said here is very valid.
I did get a commitment from Representative McCarthy, and that is if the budget, if there was no increase in taxes, he would accept it and vote in support of the budget. So we'll wait and see next Tuesday how he handles that. He has a commitment to his people not to increase taxes. I think he has a commitment to me, because he told me so, that he would accept the budget if there was no increase in taxes. So if it goes below the 7,000, which is presently there, to be increased by taxes, then he's not keeping his commitment either. Anyway, that's a personal thing. Thank you, Sandy. All right, Kathy Gary, not here. Oh, yes, she is. I'm sorry. I thought you left.
With regards to the meeting on Monday or Tuesday,
Yep.
I had scooted downstairs and called Betsy Patton, and she said she won't have an answer until noon today. It's looking more like it's gonna be Monday morning at 9. But
I just sent out,
I know, but
it was 9:30 or 2:30 or 2.
2:30 on Tuesday, I realize that, and I just, I think she said that now she has a committee meeting at 1:30 on Tuesday or something. All I know is she'll tell us at noon
That's
today.
still up in the air.
It's still up in the air.
Change my calendar.
And so
So
how
we
does
have
the
to give
public,
people
how does the
like-
public get informed as to when it's gonna be?
It's
just-
gonna be asked.
You need to get it in a timely manner, so if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, we will, it's immediately put it out on the web, we'll post it downstairs in the lobby area, we'll post it over at the nursing home, we'll put it in the Daily Sun. The Daily Sun runs daily, so that can be done.
But the Daily Sun doesn't run on Sunday and
Does it run
Monday.
on Monday?
The Daily?
Doesn't
No.
run on Sunday.
No paper on Monday.
Does it have your Daily Sun?
Well,
It doesn't matter.
paper on Monday for a while.
Doesn't really matter because Monday would be the meeting.
Just get it in on
So
Saturday.
we could have it on Friday or Saturday.
Okay.
So,
No, don't get it on Saturday, get it on Friday.
yeah.
Saturday's a very.
Well, that's what I'm
busy
saying, we can get it there quickly.
More people see it on Saturday.
So, and we'll let our gentleman.
I'm assuming that it does not have to be advertised because it was recessed.
That's correct, that's legally, but just to get the word out and,
Yeah.
all the department heads and everything else, everybody be told the proper time, so.
So we
You-
just spent Monday.
You legally, you
Is that what you
recess
said?
it, but
Until that's.
Go ahead.
legally you recess it, but ethically, is that the way, the public should know.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
See, what you're experiencing is, since the public is disconnected for more than one reason of just, they work during the day and they're disconnected that way, but since our representative government goes from the citizen up, the disconnection you're noticing that the representatives have is due to the fact that the public is disconnected. If the public was connected, they would be able to issue that pressure onto the representatives, and they would come here more informed and more apt to vote the way the citizens do. If the citizens are not involved or notified promptly enough to come to the meetings and be in the meeting, then that's not going to, get to the representatives.
I think,
We were notified in January that the last 2 Mondays of March would be budget hearings. our budget meetings, the final budget meetings. We were told that in January. Because Betsy Patton can't be here, it doesn't seem to me we should have to change.
I don't think it was Betsy
It wasn't
Patton
there.
couldn't be here. My information was that Representative Chandler couldn't be here.
Well, we know what he's gonna say anyway when he comes.
Well,
He says the same thing every year, someone else can say it for him.
I do not want to take any responsibility for the delegation. That's their dealings. I will say regarding your point in informing the general public out there, I, as one commissioner of this board, and hopefully the other two will agree, we're going to make a major effort this coming year to get out and talk with organizations. I spoke with the Ossipee Rotary Club last week regarding county government. I think we're going to try to make a major effort to get the word out and talk about county government, what kind of services we provide, what kind of expenses we have, revenue, anything that we can talk about, we are going to pursue that. So for the public who is listening or watching your video, if there's anybody out there that belongs to an organization that would like to have a commissioner come and talk to their organization, please get in touch with us. We'd be glad and happy to go do it. Okay? You got anything else?
Yes,
The other good news.
on another kind of different avenue, we've talked about the marketing program that would be the website and the, yeah. So anyway, this marketing program, they've contacted me, they're gonna wanna come and, it's not just county government, but the county as a whole.
Okay. Yep.
So they're gonna have 7 chapters to the videos that will be on this website to market Carroll County. One being a welcome, which for other counties, it's generally the commissioners that welcome, say this is Carroll County. So they're gonna be creating scripts, and then they're gonna be creating these chapters. And it's all gonna start very soon, but the filming, because I said it's really not very pretty now, with the mud and everything, they're gonna do in this late spring.
You told them
Outdoors.
physical look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have things are gonna, chapters on real estate and education and the life quality of Carroll County. And so, but what I would like to do is the Carroll County Coalition that has already been established has all those components to it to involve them in the process.
They would be more than happy.
And they,
As someone who sits on their board.
but you know what I'm saying, it would be, because they do have all the quality of life, they want to maybe take pictures of schools, they want to, there's 7 chapters that they want to cover. And it isn't, like I say, just our government entity, it's the whole, the lakes, the mountains.
I have no problem with them doing everything else but county government.
Okay, all right.
We want to have a say in county government.
Okay, all right, so that's gonna start. And then I received some additional paperwork from Donald Lane with regard to the CDBG, and there's 3 spots that need your signature, David. It's to submit the claims to the grant. It just comes through us. We don't get any of the funds. We're just the administrator.